Hey guys, welcome to my video. In this video I'm going to be showing you my most recent Garden Cats decklist for Edison format in Yu-Gi-Oh! I really love using it. Ever since I've discovered Garden Cats, I kept on playing with it. It's amazing fun, and I'm here to share it with you and hope that you learn something from it and that you try it out as well. So let's start off immediately. We'll start off with the strongest card of our deck, of course, being Rescue Cat. This is the cat that we are going to be abusing as much as possible. But by itself it doesn't do anything. You need some targets in your deck to be able to summon off of it. And I chose to run double Xaber Air Balloon and one Neospatian Dark Panther. Only 3 targets. I know I'm crazy. Many people play upwards of 5 or more targets for Rescue Cat in their Rescue Cat decks. I chose only to run these 3 because I don't really want to draw into them. I don't really want to summon them from my hand. I want to summon them from my deck with Rescue Cats. Ideally, you don't draw more than one of these during your turn. Sometimes you draw into double Air Balloon and you're kind of fucked, but there are ways around it as well. I don't play Raikou, I don't play level 2 targets. I don't think it's a good way to use Rescue Cat. Like, if I draw Rescue Cats itself, I want to be able to summon level 6 Synchro, because they're way stronger than level 5s. That's why I chose Dark Panther. Dark Panther can be useful in some situations. Most of the time the effect doesn't come up, but when it does, it can be game winning sometimes. So that's why I chose these 3 targets. Now we need some ways to get to Rescue Cat, of course. For that we have Summoner Monk and Sangan. Sangan gets you either Summoner Monk or Rescue Cat, it depends on the situation. Sometimes you rather draw into the cat than the monk, but monk overall is stronger. Now this specific version of the deck also runs double Armageddonites. In order to get to Rescue Cats, I'll show off that combo in a different video, but just know that these are actually really important in this deck. As an additional target for Armageddonites, I'm using Plague Spreader Zombie, because it's just another 1 card or 1.5 cards, level 6 synchro that we can make. Very easy, very strong. So these are basically all the combo cards of the deck. With these cards we can do the combo, and the rest of our deck is just like supporting engine, basically. I chose to run a Gravekeeper's engine, consisting of 3 Gravekeeper's Spy and 1 Gravekeeper's Descendants. It's a nice turn 1 play, just sitting on Spy. Not many decks get rid of it easily. It can be a little bit slow, but yeah, I ended up liking it anyway. They are darks. Descendant allows you to basically clear back row or problematic cards by tributing a Spy. I like it more than the other available engines, honestly. So these are basically just to support and to protect our other plays or to facilitate our other plays. And then we have some boss monsters left in the deck. One of the most popular boss monsters in this format is Kaios the Shadow Monarch. Don't underestimate him, he's really fucking strong. Gets rid of basically any cards. You need to tribute the monster, but Gravekeeper Spy, very easy to tribute fodder. Plague Spreader Zombie can be a tribute fodder as well sometimes. And we have other ways of special summoning monsters to make sure Dark Kaios can be tribute summoned without a problem. Then the last 2 monsters in the deck are 1 Gorse, game winning sometimes if your opponent doesn't play around it, or if you top deck it in a sticky situation, it can win you the game, you can come back off of it. I've won so many games because of Gorse, so I'm choosing to keep it in. And then of course Dark Arm Dragon. We are playing so many darks and we can easily manipulate part of our graveyard. Dark Arm Dragon almost always game winning when you can summon it. So these were all of the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. Starting off with the spells, since we're a combo deck, or mostly a combo deck, we don't really want our plays to be interrupted. So I'm running a lot of spell and trap removal or spell and trap prevention, like in the form of Cold Wave, Giant Runades, Heavy Storm, and Viscous Space Typhoon. These are all limited, and for good reason. They are really strong. I choose to play each of them. Even though in our main combo we cannot do our main combo under Cold Wave, but we can kind of prepare for our combos under Cold Wave, which is nice, and then our opponent cannot do anything either. Then just some other very strong one-offs. Brain Control can easily win you the game at many points. Mind Control, very similar. Doesn't always win you the game. And since I'm only running 3 tuners, you may think it's a bit crazy. But Mind Control does come up quite often. Running 1 reinforcement of the army in order to get to our Armageddonites, which is basically a combo starter, and 1 terraforming to get to our copies of Black Garden, which is one of our main combo pieces. It's a very strange card. It has a lot of text for an Edison format card. So this is part of our combo. And then I'm using some, let's say more bricky cards. And these are going to be equip spells. I chose Autonomous Action Units and 1 Megamorph. This is because I choose to run Powerful Dragon in my extra deck. We have very easy access to level 7 synchros, so one of the stronger ones, in my opinion, is Powerful Dragon. And for him to be useful, of course, you need to run some equip spells. Only running 4 again, pretty low number, but many of the equip spells are quite bad, to be honest. So I chose these because I think these are the most useful, even if I just draw them without searching them off of Powerful Dragon. Like Autonomous Action Unit, it's basically Premature Burial, but for your opponent's graveyard. And Megamorph, sometimes it's game winning. Like if you can double the amount of attack on your Caius or on your Powerful Dragon, something like that, it can make the difference. And then the last 2 spells that I'm running are Double Pot of Avarice. I'm always going between 2 or 3. It's really, really, really easy to resolve in this deck, and it's also really strong when you can resolve it. You can resolve the entire Garden Cat combo and then recycle it completely, draw 2 cards, maybe resolve it again. It's so strong. When you draw into double X-Saber Airballoon already, you can let them die and then shuffle them back so that you can resolve Cat again. It's so strong. It only sucks that it's that early game most of the time, so that's why I prefer 2 at this moment. But I may switch it back to 3 when I change the deck up a little bit. So that were all of the spells. Now let's move on to the traps. I'm actually not playing that many trap cards because many of them are too slow in my opinion. So I'm just playing the ones that are the strongest ones in this format in my opinion. First one is going to be Dust Tornado. It's again a card to clear back row to make sure that our combos can go on uninterrupted. And then Call of the Haunted. Since we run Armageddonites, we can send Gors or Caius from our deck to the graveyard, for example, and reborn it. We can reborn a cat, Summoner Monk. We have many good targets for this, so I like it. Also our Synchros, of course. Then Solemn Judgment, again to protect our place or to prevent our opponent from actually doing anything. You can always set these cards and then combo on the next turn, and you'll know that if they have an interruption, you just have Solemn Judgment for it, and you can play without fear. And then to board clears, Torrential Tribute and Mirror Force. If your opponent doesn't play around them, you have them at the right time, it can be game winning, so I always feel like I want to run these. So that was all the main deck. Now let's move on to the extra deck. So the first card in my extra deck is a Catastor. It's the only level 5 that I'm running. I think it's the only level 5 worth running, since it's not very easy to make in this deck. It doesn't come up that often. I think Catastor is the best level 5 that we can make overall, so that's why I'm choosing to run it. But we do run a lot more level 6s. First one being a Tempest Magician. You can only make this with non-tuner spellcasters, basically the Gravekeepers or Summoner Monk in this deck. It can do some burn damage. Sometimes it does come up, not that often. I think for myself I've only really made it twice, but I won the game because of it twice as well. So who knows, maybe without it I would have lost. Then I'm playing Brionek, of course, staple. I mean, almost every deck plays this, it's so good. You should play it as well. But I'm playing a little bit more of an unconventional card, Flammable Uruquizos. This just has piercing damage. It's really nice to finish off some low health opponents when they're running Treeborn Frogs or like Dandelion tokens, stuff like that, or Raikou. So yeah, I've won many of games just because of Flammable Uruquizos. And the last one, Goyo Guardian, of course, another big staple. I think everyone plays it. It makes sense, of course. Then for the level 7s, I'm playing like 5 of those as well. We can really easily make them, but the quality of the level 7s is typically not that high. First one being Black Rose. It's also pretty staple. It doesn't come up that often, but when you need it, you're going to be really happy that you're running it. The second effect cannot really be resolved in this deck because I'm not running any plans. So it's only being run for the attack value that it has, 2400, is not bad. Anti-blowing up effect, of course. Then I'm running one Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon, really strong, especially against lower fields spell decks, like, let's say, Gear Town. You can destroy their Gear Town, search a Black Garden, and their Gear Town will miss timing, which is great, and then you get a Black Garden as well. It also has 3000 defense. Don't underestimate this. Many decks have trouble getting over this, so it's nice to stall out as well. Then I'm running Powerful Dragon. I already alluded to this in the main deck profile. I'm playing the equips. Yeah, I think Powerful Dragon is an amazing card, especially when you can get the equips, like first turn you get a +1, second turn you get a +1 again. Sometimes you can even get 3 +1s off of it if you're running a Plague Spirit Zombie and you put one of the equips back. It's really nice. Yeah, I would not play the deck without it anymore. Then I'm playing one X-Saber Herbalum. He's not that great. I don't often go into him, but sometimes in the early game, when your opponent still has a lot of cards in their hand, I prefer to use this instead of just a regular X-Saber Herbalum, because many decks, they want their cards in the graveyard, or they have some cards that they want in the graveyard. But this just puts it back to the top of the deck, and they don't really get to see any new cards, which can be game-winning sometimes. And the last one is probably the strongest, and that's Arcanite Magician. I think it's maybe even the strongest synchro in this exo deck. It's so amazing. You can only make it with non-tuner spellcasters again, just like Tempest Magician. But when you do make this, you can just blow up 2 cards on the field, or you can not blow up anything and have it as a 2400 attacker and blow up something the next turn. It's very versatile, very strong. This is one of the synchros that you go into almost every game. It's really nice. So that was the last of the level 7s. Now let's go into level 8s. First one being Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon is just like a generic staple card. It can protect your combo plays. It's really nice. Then we have Thought Ruler Archfiend. This is pretty good to gain some life points, and also to play around Mind Control, Brain Control, Phoenix Flame Blast, those kind of cards, because they are getting quite popular these days. Then we have Red Dragon Archfiend. He's just a big beater, 3k attack. I think it's the highest attack that I can make with my exo deck. But his effect does come up sometimes as well, because if you attack into a defense position Recruiter, the effect of Red Dragon Archfiend will actually destroy the Recruiter, and not the battle. So the Recruiter will not be able to trigger, which is something I did not know, and that's amazing. And the last level 8 is the prize card from back in the day, Dark End Dragon. It's so strong. The fact that it sends instead of destroying allows you to play around Stardust Dragon. You don't have to send a face-up monster, so you can just send something that's face down. You can use it multiple times, well, not in the same turn, but over multiple turns. You can get so much value off of it, it's amazing. You do need a non-tuner dark monster for this though, but we run so many darks that that's usually not a problem. And then the last card also doesn't come up that often, but you're happy to have it when you need it, and that's a Mistworm. Being able to bounce 3 cards back to the opponent's hand when you summon this is so amazing. Yeah, it's most of the time game winning when you can resolve this. So I'm definitely playing this. And then of course some tokens for Black Garden. Yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed watching the deck profile. I hope you try out the deck as well. Maybe you can find something new and spicy to try out with the deck. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And see you next time. Bye bye.